In November, Gulfstream hosted the 6th Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. A Florida record crowd of 51,342 wagered more than $12 million on Breeders' Cup Day. Also a Florida record, many in anticipation of the rematch between Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Sunday Silence and Belmont victor Easy Goer.
Tallier's Thoroughbred Racing Review for the best of horse racing history on YouTube.
It was now time for the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic, the race of the decade. There were 8 entries, but all eyes were on number 1, Easy Goer, and number 8, Sunday Silence.
Well, you hear the building applause as the fans here, 50,000 plus here at Gulfstream Park, acknowledge the presence of the stars of this day. Let's go to Tom Hammond.
The Outriders poised just in the tunnel, and Easy Goer threading his way down the pathway to the track there. You see the crowd on hand and the applause ringing down from the stands as Easy Goer was the first horse onto the racetrack. So here are the horses for the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic, sponsored by Mobil. Number 1 is Easy Goer. If he wins today, he's champion 3-year-old, horse of the year, maybe horse of the decade. If he loses to Sunday Silence, he's only the 2nd best 3-year-old. But since those losses in the Derby and Preakness, he seems to have reached another plateau. His 5 consecutive wins have been outstanding. Number 2 is Present Value. One of his owners, Rich Fontana, manufactures the safety rail used at many racetracks. Eddie Delahousie is riding as well as any jockey in the country right now. He was aboard Present Value in the horse's last race, a driving win in the Goodwood Handicap at Santa Anita. Number 3 is Crypto Clearance, the quintessential stretch runner. He'll be far back early. Second to Easy Goer in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, Crypto has earned over $3 million and has won 2 Grade 1 races here at Gulfstream Park. Number 4 is Me Selecto. This is the horse Chris McCarron was to ride before Pat Valenzuela was suspended. Although picking up Pinkai should suit him just fine. This horse has won 3 of his last 4 races at 1.25 miles. Number 5 is Western Playboy. This 3-year-old was rated one of the best in the country after winning the Bluegrass Stakes in the spring. He was 9-1 against Sunday Silence and Easy Goer in the Kentucky Derby. But he was ill and finished last in the Derby. It took a while for him to return to form, but he won the Pennsylvania Derby by 17 lengths. Number 6, Slew City Slew. Look for this horse to be the early pace setter. He faded to last after prompting the pace for 1 mile in last year's Classic. However, Slew City Slew was the wire-to-wire winner of the Gulfstream Park Handicap back in February. Number 7, Blushing John. This horse seems to be either very good, like a 7.5 length win in the Washington Park Handicap, or very bad, a 20-length defeat by Me Selecto in the Meadowlands Cup. Still, he usually runs well following a bad effort. Most handicappers give him the best shot of upsetting the top 2 today. Completing the field is number 8, Sunday Silence, a horse of destiny if there ever was one. Unwanted and dogged by adversity early in his life, he has settled into a tremendous racehorse. Like Easy Goer, he's never been worse than 2nd, and if his races since the Preakness have not been as spectacular as Easy Goer's, remember the score so far: Sunday Silence 2, Easy Goer 1. And that's the field for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Greg McCarron, you can feel the tension here in the crowd. The announcers are tense. The riders have to be a little on edge. Do the horses sense it, do you think?
They sure do, and I think one of the biggest keys here is just watching both Chris and Pat just sitting as calmly as they possibly can. Chris just took his feet out of the irons, and they're both trying to get their horses just to be as relaxed, because you don't want them too geared up to go this 1.25 miles.
The horses begin to load into the gate. Easy Goer is in, followed by Present Value and Crypto Clearance. Me Selecto will move in, followed by Western Playboy. No problems at the gate. $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic, the world's richest race, the race of the decade. Easy Goer against Sunday Silence. Tom Durkin.
It's post time for the 6th Breeders' Cup Classic. Blushing John is in line. Sunday Silence, the Derby and Preakness winner, will move into post position number 8. Poised in the gate, Belmont winner, Easy Goer in post position 1. They're standing in line, and they're off. Sunday Silence breaks alertly. Easy Goer was off a step slow toward the inside. Slew City Slew, Blushing John, and Present Value. And they're passing us now for the first time. City Slew is out to take the early lead now. And he's opened up a quick lead here of 2.5 lengths. Blushing John is second down the outside. Present Value is third. Sunday Silence is rating in fourth position. He's 6 lengths off the lead. Me Selecto is seventh. 4 lengths back to Easy Goer. He is 10 lengths off the lead of City Slew as they move into the first turn. And the trailers are Crypto Clearance and Western Playboy. City Slew, and he zipped the opening quarter in 22 2/5 seconds. A brazen display of early speed in this 1.25 mile classic. Blushing John is tracking him as they make their way onto the backstretch now. Sunday Silence poised on the outside third. Present Value to his inside. Then Me Selecto. Easy Goer is yet to do his best running. He is still 9 lengths off the lead of City Slew. He's 5 lengths behind Sunday Silence, and now he's beginning to roll. They've run a half mile in 46 1/5 seconds. City Slew weakening on the lead. Blushing John has been tracking him all the way. Sunday Silence bracing for the oncoming power of Easy Goer, who's right at his neck, and the stage is set with 3 furlongs to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Blushing John taking the lead, 3/8 of a mile out. It's Blushing John in front. Sunday Silence on the outside, gearing up now. He's left Easy Goer 2.5 lengths behind. They're coming to the top of the stretch, and Blushing John is under a hand ride. He leads by 1.5 lengths. Sunday Silence, a threatening presence on the outside. Easy Goer is set down, and he's put to a fierce drive. Coming to the final furlong, Sunday Silence surges to the front. Blushing John trying to fight back. Easy Goer with one final acceleration, and Sunday Silence holds on, and he wins by a desperate neck. Easy Goer was too late, not enough to win it, and it was Sunday Silence in a racing epic.
Sunday Silence and Easy Goer giving this record crowd all that it could have wanted. So often in the big matches, one might be disappointed, but not today. 2 great horses finishing at the wire a half length behind, and Sunday Silence takes the rubber match, 3 out of 4 from this colt that wouldn't be bought. It was for sale for $30,000 twice, and no one would pay $20,000. And today has won $1,350,000 in this race and has $4.6 million third all time. And Chris McCarron, congratulations. Chris, did you have any idea as you came to the wire how close Easy Goer was?
Yes, sir, I did. I gave a little peek at the 16 pole, and I saw a couple of chestnut legs there, and I knew he was coming, but he raised up on my outside, I think, at the half-mile pole, the 3.5, and I was very comfortable with where I was, and this colt, when I set him down, turned for home, he kicked it in really nice.
Blushing John gave you all the work you wanted.
Blushing John, I had a feeling he'd be tough because he ran some impressive races at Hollywood Park last summer and just didn't fire the other night at the Meadowlands, and I wasn't letting him out of my sight, I tell you that.
Well, the fate of racing luck, plays funny favorites today. Chris McCarron, and you've had your share of bad luck today. You get the opportunity to ride this horse for the first time. If you could capture this race in a phrase, what would it be?
Well, it was, as I said before, I wish I could have gotten this mount under better circumstances. I'm happy to be here, and I wish all the best for Pat Valenzuela. He's a good friend and a good kid, and I wish nothing but the best for him.
Pat Day joins us, and Pat, we've had the opportunity to watch the replay here, and it looked like a critical part in the race was around the 3/8 pole when you moved and got just about a length behind Sunday Silence, and then Sunday Silence got away from you. Can you tell us what happened there?
Well, as we turned up the backside, my horse was aggressive, and actually to back up immediately out of the gate, as we come on the main track, my horse kind of looked and acted like he wanted to go up the chute there, just up the main part of the racetrack a little bit. I straightened him up, and it cost us a position a little bit at that point. But when we turned up the backside, he was aggressive and running easy up under me, and I let him just drag me up into contention. I wanted him to settle at that point, and which he did. I got right up to within a half length of Sunday Silence, and he settled. going to 3/8 pole, of course, then Sunday Silence went after Blushing John. As soon as he went, I went, and Easy Goer just didn't respond quite as readily as Sunday Silence did. Consequently, when he found his best stride, we were just a little bit short of getting there.
Sunday Silence, winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic. And here in the winner's circle with the owners, Arthur Hancock, Charlie Whittingham, Dr. Ernest Gaylord. Arthur Hancock, this is the horse you couldn't sell. He had all kinds of problems. He was in a van accident. Everything else happened. You have to be thankful for that now.
Thank God. It was a blessing to all of us.
The bitterness over the awarding of the presidency of Claiborne to your younger brother, Seth, Mr. Phipps playing a part in that. Is the bitterness still there?
Mr. Phipps was looking after Claiborne's interest. Claiborne's the best farm in the world, and he was my dad's best friend, and he did the right thing. And no bitterness at all. And if I hadn't won it, I wish they had it.
You were sort of the black sheep. You tussled with your father, Bull Hancock, growing up. What would your late father think now?
Well, Daddy just kept me straight. I mean, he was a wonderful father. I loved him more than any man on earth, and he would be proud of us, I'm sure.
Charlie Whittingham, you never doubted this horse. The talk was Easy Goer. You never doubted Sunday Silence.
Well, one thing, I'm an optimist. One thing about horsemen is if you're a pessimist, you're not going to get very far, partner.
How does he rank among all the great horses you've trained?
Well, he's much the best horse I've trained now, but he's done more than any horse I've ever trained, and he isn't through yet. He's just getting going.
Chris McCarron, I'll sneak over here and ask you a question. You had a pretty confident ride. Did you have an eye on Easy Goer all the way?
Well, I think that was him that reins up on the outside of me at the 3.5. I don't know exactly, but I looked back and saw a couple of chestnut legs, and I figured it had to be him. And so I just went ahead and moved my hands on the colt a little bit, and he responded very well, and he kind of got away from that horse on the outside. And I didn't want to let Blushing John get too far away from me either, because he ran some powerful race at Hollywood last summer, and he impressed me.
Great ride, Chris. Well, it's a unanimous decision down here. It is a horse of the year to Sunday Silence after the win in the Classic.
For the best in historic horse racing action is Thoroughbred Racing Review. Subscribe on YouTube and read the rest of the story on Facebook. Subscribe now.